Oppenheimer is written and directed by Christopher Nolan. It is a 2023 epic biographical thriller film. It's based on American Prometheus by Kai Bird and Martin J. Sherwin, and tells the story of J. Robert Oppenheimer, the theoretical physicist who is known for creating the atomic bomb, or the father of the atomic bomb. The movie runs for 180 minutes long. It's 3 hours even. Came out July 21st, 2023, and had a budget of $100 million. This movie focuses on Oppenheimer's studies as a quantum physicist, and also basically his direction on the Manhattan Project during World War II, and his fall from grace during his 1954 security hearing. The movie boasts an all-star cast, starring Cillian Murphy as J. Robert Oppenheimer, Emily Blunt as Kitty Oppenheimer, Matt Damon, Robert Downey Jr., Florence Pugh, Josh Hartnett, Casey Affleck, Rami Malek, Kenneth Branagh, Benny Safdie, Jason Clarke, Dylan Arnold, Tom Conti, James Darcy, David Dalsmachian, Dan DeHaan, Alden Ehrenreich, Tony Goldwyn, David Krumholtz, Matthew Modine, and Gustav Skarsgård and Jack Quaid. This is a film that is interesting, different than what you've ever seen before. The aspect of how the writing is done is really, really good. The movie is filmed and is meant to be seen in IMAX, and what a treat it was. Now, the movie boasts an epic aspect of black and white scenes with color scenes, and Christopher Nolan has stated that there is some back and forth of how it's supposed to be interpreted. 65mm and 65mm large format, including for the first time in cinematic history, sections in IMAX black and white film photography. Like previous works, Nolan used extensive practical effects and minimal CGI, and it's really, really mind-blowing to see. This is Nolan's first R-rated film since Insomnia in 2002. Where do I even begin with this movie? We go right into it. The cinematic aspect is absolutely amazing because it just captures every moment. Cillian Murphy as Oppenheimer is phenomenal. The eyes tell the tale. The eyes are the window to your soul, correct? Cillian Murphy captures that essence in everything. Seeing his progression of where he started as a scientist, so to speak, and all the way to the ending of what he didn't know what the atomic bomb was going to be used for, and how the government just took over. It's really, really prominent. Not only that, how Lewis Strauss, Robert Downey Jr.'s character, the U.S. Atomic Energy Commission, kind of really boasts an aspect of who is the villain. Robert Downey Jr. plays the villain in this. And it's so interesting because I am still trying to come down from my high of watching this film. Is it a phenomenal film? Yes, it is. The writing is absolutely phenomenal. It's engaging with the dialogue, the back and forth. Actors in scenes you'd never think you would see. You see Josh Hartnett in a room with Matthew Modine, Robert Downey Jr., David Dalsmachian in the background, Cillian Murphy front row, David Krumholtz along with that. It's just absolutely amazing. Not only that, we do get the backstory of Oppenheimer having an affair with Florence Pugh's character of Jean Tatlock, and that's here nor there. We didn't really need those scenes. I mean, I guess it's nice to see it in IMAX, but other than that, you can take those away and, take certain aspects away and make this movie 20 minutes, 25 minutes less. It would have been good. The practical effects of seeing the test on the atom bomb, or the H-bomb for the Manhattan Project, is really interesting. Just the dynamic of the silence when the bomb goes off and you see the mushroom cloud and then the shock wave happen. It's really predominant as well. Every actor in every scene gives a great performance to a T. Emily Blunt stood on her own with a all-star male cast. There's not really much female actors or actresses in this film, maybe 4 in total. You have Emily Blunt, Florence Pugh, you have the actress that was working on the Manhattan Project, and then the blonde hair at the parties. And other than that, that's all you had. I feel like if the movie had a little bit more female approach, it would have been a really different, but it's a good way to actually see the aspect of how everything works in a male-dominated world at that time. Also, with Oppenheimer going to Albert Einstein, had good effects. Tom Conti as Einstein was great. He had the look, he had, I guess, the voice, maybe a little bit different at times, but it was really, really good. The only thing I didn't like was how long it was, the length. Where I would have ended it would be once we see the testing of the H-bomb, and then it's shipped off to where it's supposed to be shipped off to, and then we hear the news of what it was used for and what happened. That should be the end of the movie. We didn't need the 1954 security hearing about his clearance and everything. I feel like that just kind of prolonged the movie a little bit too long. We just didn't need that. If you cut to a scene and then you cut to the scene of Robert Downey Jr. talking in front of the Senate hearing, and then you cut to Oppenheimer talking to Albert Einstein, that's your movie. That's it. We didn't need the whole 1954 security hearing. You could have put that into an extended cut. But I do respect what Christopher Nolan did for this film. It's absolutely amazing. The movie reminds me a lot about the 1984 period biographical film Amadeus, directed by Milos Forman. Then this film went on to win a lot of awards in the 80s. And the reason I say that is because Robert Downey Jr.'s character reminds me of Salieri, F. Murray Abraham's character, where Salieri is telling the story, but then you have Tom Holtz, who plays Mozart, and Cillian Murphy's Oppenheimer kind of doing that. Even though this is Oppenheimer's movie, it was really focused on Louis Strauss's character. Like I said, Amadeus. Amadeus was supposed to be Mozart's movie, but it was Salieri's movie. So you see what I'm trying to get at here. That's what it reminded me of. Maybe some of you might not see that or not might think of it or have no clue what Amadeus is. The movie had that hype. It's good. I waited to the hype to go down to see this movie, and I'm glad I did. It's a very, very long film, and if you're not into the whole dialogue aspect, and if you're not into the whole history, it's just not a movie for you. The aspect of how everything works in this is still different. How everything works after the atomic bombs and after calling Oppenheimer a communist, how the World War II ended, but now we're going into the Cold War. Everything happens for a reason, and I feel like this film will be nominated for a lot of awards during award season, especially even for the Academy Awards, for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Cinematography, Best Sound Design, Best Editing, Best Music, Best Score. I see 12 to 13 to maybe 14 nominations for this movie alone. If Christopher Nolan doesn't get anything for this film, I'll be very, very surprised. He should have won back in 2008, 2009 for The Dark Knight, but he didn't. This film, I see him winning for sure. Now, which category will he win in, directing or writing? If he wins for writing, I don't see him winning for director. If he doesn't win writing, I see him winning director. The movie will and might win Best Picture. Cillian Murphy is a sure lock for me for Best Actor. Supporting Actor, I can see Robert Downey Jr. walking away with a statue for this role. It'll be a close competition, especially with other actors in that category along with Robert Downey Jr. Emily Blunt will definitely be nominated for her role in this, as will probably some other actors as well. And like I said, this might even win technical awards and might sweep the technical awards categories. This is an interesting film. It's 3 hours. Should it be 3 hours? No. But it's an interesting film. The directing is great. The cinematography is great. The foreground, midground, and background, the mise en scène is great. It's just a great, great movie. But like I said, the time was a little bit long. Could have cut it down just a little bit, and it would have been perfect. But this is a masterpiece in filmmaking already, and probably Christopher Nolan's best film since The Dark Knight. And that's really saying something. If you want to add, maybe it could be a tie for one of his best films ever. And it's one of those films that will be talked about for many years to come, and will be definitely studied in film classes for the directing, the screenplay, the acting, especially the historical significance that it had during World War II, the Manhattan Project, and how everything is, and how everything worked so well. Take out certain scenes, take out certain editing aspects. It's really, really good, and I absolutely enjoyed this film, and I can't say anything bad about it other than the runtime. For me, Oppenheimer gets 4 out of 5 stars. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about Oppenheimer. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What did you think about the aspect of the story, the movie, the acting, the directing, the writing, the dialogue? Were you surprised at seeing certain actors in this that you haven't seen it for a long time? Do you think this movie is worth the hype? And did you know anything about this character or this person before this movie came out? And how many awards do you see this movie getting nominated for? And do you think certain actors, and do you think Christopher Nolan will finally get that Oscar that he's, supposed to have by now? Let me know in the comment section below about all the questions I just asked, and also let me know what rating you would give Oppenheimer, and be sure you click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell for new review videos on my channel. I will see you all in the next review video, and thank you for tuning in.